Good evening, and welcome to another weekend LEGO stream. It's been a little while since we were able to do LEGO on this channel, or much of anything really, but tonight we're back. I've built up a little bit of a build queue, so we've got some sets to last us through the rest of this month, and into hopefully a little bit into next month. And then I'll be queuing up a few more sets into the build queue in August, because in August there's a few things releasing that I want to get. But we should be good for June, July. I got a few more things. Tonight, however, I got a really special set. I knew I wanted to start a Lego Marvel collection, and I've got a few smaller things, and we did the Hoopty from the Marvels. But I really need to start building up my collection of Marvel hero characters. So Lego recently put out in quick succession 3 dioramas focused around the Avengers. There was one featuring the original 6 Avengers, in a scene from Age of Ultron. I'll be getting that diorama probably in July. They also did the one we're doing tonight, which is based on this Avengers Civil War, which is when the heroes temporarily turned against each other due to political differences. So we'll be adding. There's 8. There's 8 minifigures involved in this set. Technically, 6 of them are new characters into my collection. Technically, there's 9 characters because we also have an oversized character. And then the other diorama they did was one based on the final battle with Thanos in Endgame. And, well, that set is controversial for not being very good. And I don't think I'm going to get it because there's a lot of character overlap there. There's other ways to get to get Thanos in better, cooler sets. So I'm talking too much. Let's go over to the camera. So this is the Civil War set. You can see at the bottom there's 8 minifigures. And you can see, if we take a good look at this box, there's 3 builds in this set. We have Ant-Man when he goes giant. And then we have the jet, the Avengers jet. And then in the back here we have a little bit of a backdrop, some scenery for the battle to take place in. I think the battle was set at an airport. And you can see all these little heroes flying around. There's some of those transparent minifigure posing pegs around, so you can do all sorts of action poses with your characters. We're actually going to do the numbered bags out of order. There's 6 numbered bags. Bag 1 is the jet. Bags 2, 3, and 4 are Ant-Man. And bags 5 and 6 are the backdrop. We're actually doing Ant-Man first because his instruction book is the more awkward portrait layout rather than the landscape that most LEGO instructions use. So I only want to switch the instruction books once. So we're going to start with bag 2. So here's the front of the box. You can see very action-packed set there. And this box front is even what some artistic designers would call clutter. There's so much going on. And in the back of the box, here's another view of the action. And if you look at the inset pictures up at the top there, I'm not sure if I can get that on camera. This one shows that giant Ant-Man actually has one of the posing pegs on the back of his neck, so you can have you can pose another figure to look like it's coming in to attack him. And then that little inset picture shows some exploding barrels. Here's the picture as a whole. And there is a little bit of glare from my overhead light on the box. Hopefully that won't affect things with the actual pieces. Let me go ahead and punch this open. It's been a couple weeks since I did a LEGO build session. My last couple ones were before I fixed the network issues, so they were plagued with problems. Hopefully today will be solid. I'm showing solid green. I did a connection test before I started. So far, no drop frames. Let's open this up. Okay. Oh wow, the sticker sheet is bent up. So, let's get everything out. I'll set the box in the back here, just off camera to collect trash in. Actually, let me do that on this side of me now that I have space to do so over here. I have better control. So you can see there's 3 different instruction books. There's this little tiny one for the jet, and looks like the jet is also where we're gonna build Black Widow. And actually, we'll just, yeah, so, and it looks like there's another figure in that one too. We'll just reveal the figures as we build them. So we'll do, here's Giant Man, or Ant-Man when he goes giant. We're actually going to do this one first. So we're going to set bag 1 aside. And then we have this big, huge instruction book for the airport backdrop, which will contain the last 4 characters, it looks like. So we'll do the same thing we do with all my Lego streams, where I line up the characters in the front and they can watch the builds go on. We'll take each of the individual builds off screen though as we do them to make room for the next builds. Sticker sheet came bent up. Hopefully that won't hurt things too much. It looks like there's 20 stickers on the sticker sheet. And let's get our bags in order. 2, 3, and 4 are for Ant-Man. 5 and 6 are for the backdrop. So 5 and 6 we're going to set aside until I need them. Bag number 1, you can see has a separator in there. But because we're not building, the bag 1 first, and it comes with these 2 loose larger pieces, I'll just set them over here until the instructions call for them. Oh, there's another one of those big plates. I'll set that over here with the other one. We'll keep bags 4 and 3 close because they're part of this build that we're doing first. We're going to start with bag 2. Let's pull up the instructions. And you can see what I meant about the awkward formatting of portrait mode. And big gray block, because of the way these are laid out, big gray block obscuring part of my table. I still haven't figured out how to take care of that. I know it's an issue that I've had for a few months now. I did drop some frames in there, it looks like, but not too bad. We shouldn't have too many issues. Wow, I've been talking for 10 minutes. And we haven't, 10 minutes in and we haven't started yet. I'm usually a little quicker than that. Alright, let's go ahead and get into this book. Because we're not starting with bag 1, I pulled out a spare separator for us to use. So when bag 1 comes along, we'll just... I can't really make the instructions any smaller because then you won't be able to see them that clearly. But it's taking up some... Let me see if I can do a quick adjustment on this thing. If I make the gray bar narrower. Yeah, that makes them tiny. You'll have a better view of the instructions, I think, when we go to the other 2 instruction books. Okay. That's as good as I'll be able to get the instructions for now, I think. My new setup is a lot less cramped than the old setup, so it'll be good for Lego. I'm still limited to this little tiny desk though. So big sets may prove problematic. Let's go ahead and get started with this. So we'll go into the instructions. It says to open bag 2. And I do have the sticker sheet on the table in front of me. And we are underway. Because of the delays in getting my stream going again, I believe there will be another LEGO stream tomorrow, just so I can catch up on a little bit of the build queue in front of me. Maybe. Or I may do a game. Or maybe I'll take the night off. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. It's been a week. So it looks like we get to do Captain America first. Captain America, of course, and Iron Man were the two team leads for the Civil War. Since we're giving him his Avengers helmet, we want... Captain America has 2 faces. He has his classic smiley face, and then Captain America also has the secondary, more serious face, which includes the chin strap for his helmet. Captain also gets his shield, the iconic Captain America shield. So here's the full Captain America look. That's pretty cool for our first figure of 8. This set. So we'll be seeing a lot of cool iconic characters this set. Let's get him into a seated position so that he can watch the build. And then the next page shows us doing Iron Man, the other team lead. Now, because they're all Avengers and good guys just having a temporary feud at the end of the day, I'm just going to line them up in the order we pull them. And actually, we'll line up team... Yeah, we'll line up Team Iron Man on the other side of the table, and we'll line up Team Captain America on this side of the table. And that way, the heroes can at least be with their current friends. So Iron Man also has 2 faces. He has the standard face. And then, like Captain America, he has a face that's meant to be used with a helmet. This is his Iron Man interface display face. So when he has the helmet on, this is like the computer screens that appear in front of his eyes to show him his surroundings. And it looks like it's one of those classic Iron Man opening mask helmets. So let me get him put together. And he also has thrusters on his feet that I need to put on. That facilitate his flying ability. So he gets jetpack feet, and the instructions also show him getting an energy blast coming out of his hand. So let me put that on. Okay, so we have to, now we have an even bigger energy blast going on here out of his other hand. Let me get that put together real quick. And then I'll show you Iron Man in his full look. So yeah, it looks like most of the heroes are going to have like an action of some sort that they're to facilitate the posing at the end. So he has this energy blast in his other hand. So he has an energy blast forming in one hand and then a big energy blast coming out of his other hand, and then his two jetpack thrusters on his feet. And I'll lower the energy blast for now because he's to show the minifigure, because he's attacking from air if he's got the energy coming out of his feet. So there's that. You can see the energy blast, the energy forming in his other hand. And if you open the helmet, you can take the front of the helmet, lift it up, and you can see his face inside. So Team Iron Man, I'm gonna start setting up from the other end of the table. And actually, let's raise Cap's shield so it's a little more prominent on camera. That way you can tell at a glance who he is. Because the camera's not the best and they do get a little blurry, but now you can tell that's obviously Captain America. And that's obviously Iron Man. I didn't have to do anything special for his posing. Let's go ahead and begin building Giant Man. Now, unlike the other characters, this is one of the 3 builds, and so it will have to go off camera when I'm doing the other builds. He won't be able to sit with his team. Oh, 20 minutes in and we're just getting started on the first of 3 builds. Yeah, I was right to rearrange my schedule. I was going to do my 4 set. I have 1 stream in the queue right now that involves 4 sets. I was planning to do that one tonight, but I got a late start, and I do have an ending bound for tonight. Tomorrow, I have no ending bound, so tomorrow I should be able to do that stream if I want to do a Lego stream. Is that the beginning of ball joint holders I see? So yeah, notably missing from this, um, set because they weren't actually involved in the rivalry. They were off-world at the time to the original Avengers, Thor and Hulk. So those are still some pretty big holes in my Marvel collection that'll have to be filled. But like I said, I'm planning to get that other Ultron diorama featuring the six original Avengers. So that's a project for. I'm hoping to put that in the July budget, since since June I have to focus uh, on financial rebuilding. So once I build some of the stuff I already have this month, in July I'll be able to get a couple things, and then August there'll be another big influx for the build queue. I think I see what's starting to come. Oh, yeah. I think I see how the shape is starting to come together. So yeah, we're basically starting here with the torso build. I guess bag 2 is going to be the torso, and in some order, bags 3 and 4 are going to be the arms, legs, and head. But yeah, I can see the shape. I can see how the shape is starting to come together now. They used to sell customizable Avengers gauntlets at the at Disney World, but by the time I went there, by the time I saw the Marvel shop at Disney Springs, the they had discontinued those. Those were interesting. It was like a gauntlet, and then there were mix and match parts representing Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, and Spider Man. We've only been actually building this for like 5, 6 minutes so far. I think we're making relatively good speed considering how much time I spent talking and going over the first two minifigures. Speed doesn't really matter because it's Lego build night and we want to enjoy it. But it's good to keep metrics. Okay, so it looks like that's going to be the neck joint there. And we get our first couple stickers on this step. Let's go ahead and put all the pieces on so that I can line up the stickers correctly. Now these are stickers whose designs meet up, which means they need to be more perfect than usual. Okay, that came out pretty good actually. The stickers look pretty good together. Those are the first 3 stickers lined up. And this will go on like this. Okay. This is a nice chunky affair coming together. Oh, well, yeah, sometimes when I get silent like this, it just means I'm focusing on the build. Somewhere in there we dropped a few more frames, but I'm not concerned. It looks like they're just momentary things right now. Okay, so it looks like these pieces are gonna be where the legs plug in. I honestly don't remember which team Ant-Man slash Giant Man was on, unfortunately. Um, so he'll just be part of this scene, I guess. Oh, the pictures show Spider-Man getting ready to attack him. The picture on the box. So I'm guessing he'd be whichever team Spider-Man isn't. Hmm. Okay, so here's the hip section that plugs into the torso like that. And actually, waist articulation. A lot of Lego buildable figures don't do that. Look at that. There's an extra point of articulation there. I appreciate that. Let's see what's going on here. So this attaches to Ant-Man's back. Oh, you know what this is? That's going to be the attachment point, I think, for the minifigure attack pose. Hold on, let me go back to the Iron Man page real quick. Because I think I see too many. No. Okay, I guess that piece is meant to be an extra. Okay. We'll go into bag 3 now. We got through that bag in pretty reasonable time. I don't think we're going to see any more figures till we finish Ant-Man and move on to the other builds, though. I think we got 2 more figures with the jet, and then the last 4 figures with the backdrop, I think is how the distribution is here. At least we got through the team leads first by going out of sequence. Alright, let's get into it. And we're starting with an assembly here, so we'll set the body aside. But it looks nice, so I'll set it facing the camera a little bit, like that. You can just see it lying down there for a little while as we build some more parts for it. It looks like we get to do one of those heavy-duty snapping joints for this one. So I think this bag is going to be, I'm guessing the legs, and then the other bag is going to be, well, let's just see how things shape up. This is either going to be legs or arms or both. Hmm. All right, this section, whatever it is, okay, so this is part of one of the legs. Okay, so that leg's gonna have some nice articulation. It's not like the Star Wars mechs, where the arms and where the knees and elbows were like that fixed unbending joint. So you only had like four points of articulation. This actually looks like it's fully articulated, which is good for posing. To be fair, the Star Wars mechs were kind of juniorized. There's actually a new one that just came out that I don't have yet. I streamed the first three back when it was just Darth Vader, Boba Fett, and a Stormtrooper. But then they released a Luke Skywalker one, which I have that one, but I didn't stream that one, and they just released a Darth Maul one. I'm gonna get it, but that's probably, unless I have other Star Wars stuff to do with it, that's probably gonna be on the off-stream build supply. Sometimes I just like to have a small Lego set to do for myself off-stream without the pressures of streaming attached. And I don't... Every set I have in my queue right now is sets I want to stream, so I don't have any... builds just for doing for myself right now. So yeah, this okay, we have That's the one piece we need. Where's the other piece we need? There it is. So I guess you could say this is the second bigger Marvel set I'm doing, because I did the Hoopty a while back from the Marvels. Okay, so this leg will go into this side like this. So this is what he looks like with the upper legs attached so far. And we're going into a 2X assembly, so I'm guessing this is going to be the feet. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. We were at green bars, and then we had a momentary dropout. But that's the thing that happens with this network, even when the network is running fine. So So it looks like these are going to be what we're putting in now is the attachment points, the upper legs. So I don't think this is the feet just yet. I think this is the lower legs we're working on now. I'm not sure exactly how this piece is meant to line up. It's not clear in the picture. Halfway into the clips is there. I'm gonna go with that. Oh, right. Okay. And then we gotta do stickers. Okay, so yeah, those are the lower legs we just built. Let's get them attached. So I'm guessing now we're doing the feet, but they must be mirrored because it's not having us do a 2x for the feet. Okay, there we go. So yeah, that goes there. So yeah, it looks like bag 4 is going to be the arms and the head. Because this bag is very clearly going to end with the feet. We've now been streaming about an hour, and we're more than halfway done with Ant-Man, or Giant Man as he is in the scene. We're almost done with the second foot. And then we'll move on to bag 4, and we'll get Giant Man completed. And then we still got a lot more build to go afterwards. This set's cool because it's got all the big 3. It's got scenery slash building. It's got a vehicle. And it's got a buildable character or animal. In this case, character, not animal, but same basic build concepts are used in both. So vehicles, buildings, and buildable character, animal, whatever, are basically the big 3 Lego categories of what you can build with Lego. Actually, you can build anything with Lego. You can build artworks with Lego. You can build plants with Lego. But those are like the big 3 that Lego's been doing for years and years. So here now is Giant Man with his legs and feet attached. So we can actually make him stand up now since he has legs. Let's take the hip joints out a click to give him a little bit of a wider stance so he can balance a little bit better. Yeah. I think I understand why for the smaller mech sets they just use the fixed joints, because they stand better, less posing frustration for the kids, because I just took way longer than should have been necessary to get him to stand. And I'll stand him back here out of the way so we can bring in bag 4. So bag 4 is going to be the arms and head. And it looks like we have some pretty big pieces that actually make up the head. So I'm going to set these bigger pieces aside. And you can't see it because it's behind the instruction block, but there's actually one molded faceplate that looks like it's going to make up most of the head, and it's staring right up at me right now. But you can't see it because it's behind the instructions. There's not a lot of pages left in the instructions of this first book or second book, so the arm builds probably aren't as substantial as the leg builds. It's funny, the Avengers all turned against each other, but at the end of the day, when Earth came under threat again, they were able to put their differences aside and come together and save the world again. So here's the first arm. So yeah, the arm build isn't quite as substantial. It's the upper arm and the lower arm together. I'm guessing this will be the hand. cool. Individually posable fingers. So now I can pose him a little bit and have him give a little bit of a salute, if you know what I mean. Just kidding. That was totally not family friendly. Sorry about that. I'm just having a little fun with this. And it's cool how they put a stud. They designed his hand with a stud on it so he can hold things if you want him to later. But for now, we're just going to give him a neutral pose for the hand and lower it down into a neutral pose. And then I can start working. How about a little better than a neutral pose? How about we have him give a thumbs up? Does that... The camera's not really picking that up. But I'm trying to have him do a thumbs up. It's not really working. Alright. We'll just pose the hand neutrally at his side then, while I start working on the other arm here. So there's only one bag involved with the assembly for the jet. So that should be reasonably straightforward to get through. Okay, so the other arm is ready to get attached. And now we have to give him his other hand. You know what? He's tall. Let me see if I can make him sit down. I don't think his leg goes far enough to make him sit. I can't make him sit, but we'll let him take a little bit of an exercise stretching position for right now. There's enough of him on camera that you can see where I'm going to attach his hand in a minute. So I'm already putting the fingers onto the hand. And we can just take the hand now and attach it into this joint here like this. And we can close up the fingers a little bit to give him a little bit of a more natural pose. So he has both hands on. And now I need to be able to see what I'm doing. So he has these big giant shoulder pads. I was wondering what those clips on the arms were for. But they'll go on like this and fold up to cover up some of the construction. So here's the other one. We'll put on the shoulder pad like that into the clips and then fold it up to cover, and just gives him a little more smoother look around his upper torso. And before I start building the head, first let's fix Iron Man. And, let's get him back into a standing pose. So, headless giant man. We'll just move him off to the side while I start putting together the head. So the head assembly is mostly going to be structure. The face itself is pretty much a single printed piece here. But you know what? There it is. There's his face waiting to go on. Oh, that's cool. It continues the BrickHead's tradition of putting a pink piece in where the brain will be. There's the pink piece that's going to be covered up and invisible when we finish the head. Okay, yeah. All right, here we go. Here is the big faceplate. And if I stick that on like that, there. And then I'll show it to you all put together once the head is actually done. But there. He could stare at you for a little bit. That's a little creepy, don't you think? Seeing a giant Lego head staring back at you. Disembodied head. And we have a headless body here. And all together. Is that how it's supposed to go? I can't tell. Oh, there's the little breathing mask thing, though, from the front of his helmet. That's what that is. Okay. And then he has these... He has these little pointy bits on the sides of the breathing mask. Let's get that on like this. Okay, I think we're almost there with the head. The Ant-Man mask almost looks like something out of Star Wars. Star Wars, of course, is known for having distinctive masks and helmets. But it's Marvel, not Star Wars. So here's the head with its full detail. Hold on. Let me make sure that the bit is straight there. Okay, here's the head in full detail. And I'm just gonna plug it in now to the top of the neck like this. And Ant-Man Giant Man is no longer a headless being. He's fully together. And actually, with him being fully together, that's the end of this first instruction book. So let me go ahead and turn off the instructions so we can actually get him on camera for a little bit. There he is. He's still so tall I can't get the whole thing on camera at once, but at least with the instructions off, I can show him to you. Pretty cool. Big structure there. Makes me kind of want to get some of the other sets that have these big giant characters now. There's a Thor Ragnarok one with Surtur, I think. And then there's the Fantastic Four with Galactus. And there's another big giant figure in the X-Mansion, but that set might not, is probably outside my space budget. Even if I could afford it, so probably we're not getting that one. But yeah, there's Giant Man, which is Ant-Man after he discovered he could reverse the micro size to become macro size. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and set him aside now so we can get straight into our second build here, which we'll do the jet next. So give me a moment here to reconfigure the instructions. And this is more like how I usually do instructions. Give me a moment to get the instructions coordinated correctly here. Okay, that's good. So now with this instructions, we're going to be building the jet. It looks like the jet is going to have 2 more of the figures. And the jet is 1 bag on its own. Also comes with a separator. And we're going to pull up bag 1. And because this set has its own separator, I'm going to set aside the spare that we pulled because we did the other assembly first. There's 2 minifigures heads in this parts pile, so I guess we'll be making each of our team captains first teammates here with the jet. And we're at about the 1.5-hour mark of stream. So here's the separator. We'll put it right back into its position. Okay, so we're going to start with Black Widow, who is going to be Team Iron Man. It looks like these two characters both use exactly the same leg prints. Interesting. So if they're wearing the same pants then, that means they become friends again later, I guess. Maybe they're having a dispute about, hey, you're copying my pants. Maybe that's what this whole dispute is about. So Black Widow has she doesn't have a smiley face. She has neutral, not negative, not feeling negative, but mostly just calm and neutral face. And then she has serious action face. For Black Widow, we'll go serious action face. And she needs this hairpiece. And looks like she has her beating sticks. So let's go ahead and find those in this parts pile as well. And get her armed. They're actually using one of the gun variants. Pointed upside down to be the beating sticks. Interesting. So there's one. We need to find the other one. So the whole jet is apparently inside this one bag. Okay, where's the other weapon? There it is. It was hiding under stuff. Pieces of a similar color. There's Black Widow ready for combat. And we'll go ahead and we'll take her and put her over sitting with Team Iron Man. And then the next page has us doing Winter Soldier. Complete with his one robo arm as indicated by its silver with a black hand. So he has calm smile, and he too has serious action face. Given that the point of this set is a battle, we're going to keep him on serious action face. He gets a hairpiece, and this doesn't show us giving him any weapons, but the art on the box shows him piloting the jet, so he doesn't get weapons unlike everyone else so far. So here's Winter Soldier in his full appearance. And we will seat him with Team Captain America. Let us continue. technically, I have Captain America and Black Widow figures in my collection, but my Marvel character collection right now also includes Rocket Raccoon and Doctor Strange and Shang-Chi, whose sets I believe I did off camera. Rocket Raccoon, I got his mech. Doctor Strange, I got a little poly bag featuring one of his portals. And Shang-Chi, I got a little poly bag featuring his dragon ancestor that we see at the end of his movie. But a tiny version of the dragon. Not the big, giant, huge dragon that we actually see in the movie. And then Captain America and Black Widow, I think I also did off camera. There was a little tiny set that came with a motorcycle for each of them. But that set represents when they were friends and teammates. And you can see, obviously, they're sitting on opposite sides right now. But they become friends again later. Because the Avengers do reunite after this big, epic battle that we're recreating today. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing the Ultron set with the original 6 Avengers. So that will mean there will be 3 Black Widows and Captain Americas in my Marvel figure collection. But you know the big name heroes, you're going to get multiple minifigures of them if you collect from a theme. Like with Avatar, I have 4 different Neytiris and 4 different Jakes. Ah, stud shooters. This jet's going to have 2 stud shooters on it. Since we're assembling the stud shooter, I have to do my quick test. Remember, it will never be armed again after this point. Yeah, it works. We're good to go with that one. Alright, now I have to set up the other stud shooter because there's one on each side here. There it is. Set up for the test. Yep, that one's good. So now we gotta find the other piece. And attach that one. Interesting. Using the stud shooters as a structural piece. I think this is the first time I've seen that. In my experience, I'm sure it's been done on many, many sets. I just don't have them yet. Where's the other? There it is. Oh, I started to go behind the instructions there. Sorry about that. And I see things are not structurally sound right now. I guess we'll have to shore up some of these connections, it looks like. But for now, things are not structurally secure yet. This may be the beginnings of strengthening up these wing sections that were falling apart on me a little bit ago. Yeah, it feels a little more secure now with those plates added. Let's keep going. Alright, let's keep going. Okay. This jet is coming together nicely and efficiently. Efficiency is good because we still have another whole build after this one. I'd say the wings are very much secure now, structurally. And I don't have to worry about them falling apart on me anymore because they are solid at this point. We've put enough structure and security on them now. That's some cool color blocking with these tiles. And it is sticker time again. But since these pieces are going to be visible at the same time, I think I want to put them on first so that I can better line up the stickers. Okay, it's not quite perfect, but I think I did alright with those two stickers right there. They're fairly lined up. I do like all these little shaping details that this, even as tiny as this build is, it has some nice shaping details. And as small as it is, we even have some proper landing gear on the bottom of the jet. I keep bumping the table and my people keep falling down. That's alright. So far we have Captain America, Winter Soldier, Black Widow, and Iron Man who have entered the battle, plus Giant Man. And the jet will be ready to fly soon as well. The jet is coming together pretty quickly. So the landing gear wheels are now on, and it rolls nicely. Yeah, that's nice and smooth. Let's keep going. And now we'll set this aside a little bit so we can work on this assembly. Interesting. Okay, how does this attach? Okay, this attaches to the pinhole, but that's not secure. So am I sure it attaches to the pinhole? Tell you what, let me build the one for the... Okay, so it says to do the pinhole and then fold it in. Okay, so it's supposed to fold in and attach on like that. And the pinhole is there to give it positioning and anchoring. Okay then. Now we have to build the one for the other side. There's not a lot of parts left in front of me. The jet's almost done. We're coming up on the 2-hour mark of stream right now. This jet has a cool design, even though it's pretty small for a Lego jet. That's actually some pretty cool build techniques to get that distinctive look for the back of the jet. There. That's what the back of the jet looks like with those attachments. And now I can go back to operating directly on the plane. Interesting, using a covered crate as part of the structure. Maybe it's for the texturing. Let's see, where's this ultimately going? Yeah, I don't need to build both of them before I put the sticker on in this case. So the Avengers logo A is what this sticker is. And it's going to be on the, I think, the side of the wing once we attach it. There's that sticker. Oh yeah, we want to put it on here. All right, let's do the other sticker. I think these are supposed to run parallel with the other bits. Okay, canopy stickers, but these don't look too bad considering. I remember when canopies used to automatically be printed, but then we had that Star Wars ship a few weeks ago which had really nasty canopy stickers that weren't even solidly printed correctly. I think I did those stickers nicely. When I attach it to the plane, it looks like this is Speed Champion style, where to open the canopy, you take it off, like Speed Champions in some of the city vehicles. Yeah, I did that pair of stickers pretty well. You can see they blend in with the sides of the jet. Yeah, I'm liking how this jet looks. And here's ammo for the stud shooters. I'll set that aside. So it looks like this little bit of the battle is Winter Soldier is flying the jet, and Black Widow is trying to hijack it, it looks like. I'll turn the instructions off so you can get a good view of the jet in a moment. Let me just finish clearing off the spare bits. I'm not loading the stud shooters. I tested them as I attached them. So let's turn off the instructions real quick, and I can give you a good. This is our sticker sheet so far. Between Giant Man and the jet, we used about half of it. We have half of our characters so far. Iron Man and Black Widow versus Captain America and Winter Soldier. Each team is going to get 2 more characters. I forget which team Giant Man is on, but clearly that team has the advantage. I will take these ammo off screen for a little bit. I've noticed sometimes they use the little round 1x1 studs with the stud shooters, and sometimes they use little round 1x1 tiles. I don't know if there's a functional difference or not, but both are compatible with the stud shooter. The stud shooter also, they've developed a new ammo type for the stud shooter. The Mario Kart sets now have a shell you can shoot from the standard stud shooter. Oh yeah, jet. A nice little tiny jet, but still has a very cool, intimidating profile. This is a very cool jet that the Avengers have. If this thing was flying towards you, you'd better run. I mean, unless you're on the good side. If you're on the good side, you probably don't have to fear the Avengers. And actually, you know what? We're 2 hours into stream. This would be a good place to take a bio break. So let's do this. Yeah. You can enjoy admiring the first 2 builds while I go take a quick bio break. And then we'll come back, we'll build the backdrop, and call it a night. I'll see you shortly. I changed my mind about doing a little break. I kind of just want to get the finish getting this set built. We're making good time, so we'll take off Giant Man and the jet. And let's bring up the instructions for the backdrop, which is being held at an airport, I think. And you can see in this picture, there's 4 more Marvel heroes that are going to partake in this battle once we build. This is going to be the last 2 numbered bags. We want bag 5, and it looks like bag 5 is also going to call for the 2 big plates. I will pull the 2 big plates as the instructions call for them. So let's go ahead and get bag 5 on the table. I can see some more minifigure parts. Posing this battle at the end is going to be a bugger, isn't it? So in addition to the characters that are in the set, there's 3 other Avengers who are not included in the set who are also in this battle. That'd be wait, if War Machine and Vision were on Team Iron Man, that means Hawkeye would have been Team Cap, and so would Giant Man. I think Giant Man is Team Captain America, but I'm not 100% sure. I know that there were 6 heroes on each side in the movie. But remember, they all became friends and came together to fight Thanos once the stakes got real. So in this bag, we're looking at Scarlet Witch and Black Panther. I think they both have, unlike Winter Soldier and Black Widow, these 2 both have unprinted pants. And even though Scarlet Witch is being shown first, I started with Black Panther already, so we'll go through with him. He just has the one face because he's got printing for the back of his mask, so. And he has a little piece with his ears on it that's supposed to go on top of the head. Little tiny piece. Let's see if I can find it in this parts pile. There it is. And for a weapon, Black Panther gets his claws. I know I didn't show you him just the head, and that's just because he doesn't have switchable faces. You'll get to see Black Panther in his full look. He gets his Wolverine claws. Wolverine is another character who's got a few Lego appearances. So Black Panther is going to be Team Iron Man. So here is Black Panther. He's got a pretty cool look. Scary, sharp claws. And there's what he looks like on the back. You can see he's got his little ears as well. So we'll seat him over here with Team Iron Man. And we will get to work now on Scarlet Witch, who actually, even though she is an Avenger, did have a little bit of a villain turn once Doctor Strange came to the Avengers. But I think she comes around in the end. I don't remember how that storyline got resolved. Let's find the headpiece. I see the hairpiece, but where's the head? Is the head hiding up? There it is. So, like the other characters, she has switchable faces. She has a neutral smiley face, but I'll show you once I finish putting her together. Like everyone else, we're going with the serious action face for this one. So Scarlet Witch is going to be on Team Captain America. Because... oh, that's cool. This, the serious action face has glowing red eyes. But we have to give her she has magic blasts coming out of her hands, according to this picture. So I have to put those on before I show the figure, and then we will proceed with building the backdrop. So each team still has 2 more members that have yet to be revealed. So here's Scarlet Witch ready for battle. Glowing eyes, magic blasts coming out of the hands. That's a pretty cool figure. So we'll put her over here with Team Captain America. And we are ready to start building the airport. Like most Lego buildings, this is going to be kind of a wall facade kind of affair, because the action is meant to be posed around it. So I'm guessing this bag is going to be the plating to make up the base, and then bag 6 is going to be the back wall. And the actual structure. I think posing for the final display at the end of stream might prove to be a little bit of a bugger. But we'll see what we can do. If this bit of scenery fits on the table, we should be able to pose everything else around it. But I don't think I'm going to pose anyone in the plane. I think, yeah. We'll pretend that one of the missing heroes is in the plane. That way all the figures can be in full view when we set up the ending display. Alright, let's make some room on the table for me to work with here, because this is gonna start getting big now. What size is that giant plate anyway? A 16 by 8. Wow. That's a lot of studs. For both the base and the wall, there's a total of only 80 pages. So this step should go together pretty I mean, this third build should go together pretty quickly. And the person I want to raid, he's already started his stream, but he should be on for a while. We're good to finish this. We're at almost the 2.5 hour mark of stream. If you consider that we didn't actually start building until about 20 minutes in, we've only actually been building for about a little over 2 hours. Totally meaningless stats, but I like to keep an idea. Actually, I wanna keep things relatively organized here. Interesting, our very first bit of Technic for the whole set so far. And it looks like, from the looks of it, that it's just going to be a tiny Technic affair. This may be the actuator for the exploding barrels we saw on the back of the box. Yeah. I'm kind of glad we skipped the bio break, because that means we'll be able to finish this more efficiently. I'm always saying never underestimate the importance of a good bio break, and it's true. But if you don't feel like you need it, you don't have to take it. If you got momentum going, if you're feeling good, and you don't want to waste time. But for the most part, if you need a break, you should take it. I just didn't tonight. Excuse me. Okay. How does this one? Okay, this one lines up like this. And I need to make a little bit more space here now. Maybe if I lean him, oh, he's as forward as he can lean. Okay, this one goes here, and then we get the other big 8x16, and that one looks like it goes like this. This piece goes here. So yeah, this is going to be a nice little bit of airport ground for the battle to take place on.
Are you streaming?
Yeah.
Mute for a second.
Can you talk to me after?
I just have a quick question.
All right, sorry about that. Let's continue going. Okay, that piece goes there. Then we have this piece going here. I'm almost certain there will be another Lego stream tomorrow just because I have so many in the queue right now. We'll make up for not having done any last week, I guess. Okay, this one goes. This one goes here. And then we have this going over here. And then this one is going over here. So the airport grounds are starting to come together, at least in terms of shape of the battlefield. But yeah, it looks like my earlier prediction that we won't see the actual wall facade until the final bag, that looks like it's going to hold true. Because, you know, I'm good at predicting these bag arrangements from Lego by now. Lots of studded areas for the characters to stand during the fight. It looks like we're finally putting on the last bits of the outer shape of the battlefield. And then we'll have to secure these structurally as well, like we've been doing all along as we've gradually built up the shape of the battlefield. And there's a turntable here. I wonder what the turntable is for. Let me just see. Yeah, it looks pretty even from the back. Okay, so now we have little bits of fire because it's a battle, and so magic blasts and superpowers cause damage and destruction, and little bits of the pavement have caught fire. That's what these little bits of fire look like. And then there are some smaller ember pieces as well. I'll show you one of those as soon as I get them out and ready. The little ember pieces, these are just the standard candle flames, but here they represent destruction. And we get one more little fire. There we go. Okay, I think I know what's going on here. If I'm right, this is awesome. If I'm wrong, it's still awesome. We get a hinge going on here. And wait, that's transparent, right? Which, oh, you know what this is? This is going on the turntable. You know what this is? With a clear base. This is for posing the jet. That's pretty cool. This studded tile is going to connect to the underside of the jet. I'm not going to do it now because we still have to build the whole back of the we still have to build the whole back wall. But let's go ahead and get all the spare bits out, and we will bring in bag 6. Bag 6 may be a little tough to work with because we have to work around the platform, because bag 6 is going to build onto the platform. So, bag 6, which will be the final bag of this build. And we've got about 40-ish pages of instructions left for bag 6. I can already see some structural bits, nice big structural bits in this bag. So yeah, this is going to be the back wall of our little airport facade. And we're going to get 2 more characters in we're going to get 2 more characters in this bag as well. Our last 2 characters of the night. Wow, there's some nice big pieces here. Next page. Okay. I see what's going on here. We're going to start with your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. He's even got his dual color legs. And of course, Spider-Man, not having an extra hat or a helmet, only has the one face. He looks cool. Let's go ahead and give him... His weapon is a web whip. That's the best way to describe this thing. I think it's meant to be hung from the top of the airport so he can swing along and do an aerial. I've seen this piece in other colors. I think in red it's used in the Chinese festival sets a few times. And I've also seen it in green, representing jungle vines. So here is Spider-Man. And here is his back. And Spider-Man is one of the Marvel characters. Spider-Man and probably Iron Man are probably the 2 Marvel heroes who appear in the most sets. There's a whole ton of Spider-Mans out there in LEGO. So Spider-Man is going to go with Team Iron Man. And let me do it this way, because otherwise his whip is going to get in the way of everyone. And his whip makes him... And his whip is making him want to fall over. So if I can... Yeah, the whip is pulling him off aside, so... Best way to solve his sitting problem, I think, is just to take his web off and lay it in front of him until we need to pose him. So we'll do it like that. Spider-Man is now sitting with his team. Team Iron Man now has its full roster for this battle. Now we come over here. And once again, the same pants as Black Widow and the Winter Soldier to build up this next character. This is going to be Falcon, who will be the final member of the battle for Captain America's team. Oh, and he has that clear piece going across his back. Oh, so Falcon, of course, is going to get his iconic wings. So I can't seat him with the other characters just yet because he's going to get wings. But I'll go ahead and put him together. And I'll show you the minifigure without the wings once I have him assembled. He only has the one face. He does have his goggle strap printed across the back of his head, though. His hair's too short to have two faces. So there's Falcon before we add all his accessories. You can see that little transparent bit hanging from his back. That's where we're going to attach the wings in a little bit. Oh, it also shows him how holding two tiny pistols. Let's go ahead and give him his weapons, and then we'll move on. And I guess we have to do his little wing assembly before he's considered done. And there's our first. We went this far. We got to the last bag, and we finally had our Lego tradition of a piece getting yeeted onto the floor with a fat finger moment. Let me go recover that real fast. Now let's find his other blaster. There's the second blaster. So let's get him. So he dual wields pistols while shooting from the air on his wings. Alright, so now we're going to build his little wing assembly. And then we're going to start building the airport back wall facade. And I'm working with very limited space on the table right now. You can see as I search through the parts pile, that's mostly behind the instructions right now, since I'm trying to keep the actual build area on screen and visible. And this base plate for the airport is taking up so much space that the parts pile area has been pushed behind the instructions. There it is. It was hiding under other parts. That's cool. There's some texturing bit going on for Falcon's look here. But there are also some stickers. And my tiling does not look straight and even. Give me a moment to adjust these tiles and make them look good. They're a little bit crooked right now. And given Falcon is going to be the, with the exception of Giant Man, thanks to the wings, Falcon is going to be the hero in the spread who has the most prominent stage presence. And then we need to put stickers on the wingtips. So let me pull out the two pieces that make those. Why do I have two copies of each of those stickers? Oh, because we're putting the stickers on the fronts and backs of the wingtips. In that case, I want to put these on to make sure everything lines up correctly. And before I put the stickers on, I just want to see if there's any more structural bits that will need to be added. Where's the other wingtip? I thought I'd set it aside just now, but I guess I was wrong. There it is. Before I put these stickers on to the wingtips, I just want to make sure that this is structurally complete, and it is not. Okay. These bits are going to fall off if I try and apply the stickers, so let me just go ahead and pull them off to begin with. And then I'll show you the whole wing assembly once I have the stickers on. Okay. And that will leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stickers for the airport itself. So now, with those stickers on, I guess it doesn't matter that there's not too much structural stability here, because I think when it plugs into his back, it's going to get that structural stability. And then there's one more little tile here I have to find. And sticker. And we're at the 3-hour mark of stream, so we're at about the 2-hour and 40 mark of actual building right now. That doesn't really matter. I just like to keep I just like to try and keep track of progress. Yeah, that sticker's pretty straight, so let's get it attached. Okay, and now this whole assembly will attach to Falcon's back like this. And here's Falcon armed up and ready to fly into combat. And here's what it looks like from the back. So yeah, one more look at him because that's impressive. Now for sitting him down, um, we'll use the guns as extra legs and we'll fold in his wings to make him not quite as back heavy. And he gets to sit with Team Captain America. So our rosters at this point are complete. Team Captain America is Captain America, Winter Soldier, Scarlet Witch, and Falcon. Team Iron Man is Iron Man, Black Widow, Black Panther, and Spider-Man. Everyone's armed up and ready for battle, but we have to finish building the scenery before we can think about setting up the actual and posing the actual battle. Our first bit of actual wall structure. Let's keep adding on. And now we get a bit of scenery sticker. Well, that's going inside panel. A restricted area warning indicating flammable stuff within wherever this wall is going. This goes inside the airport like this along the back wall. The structure is going to come together pretty quickly. There's only about 30 pages of instructions here left here. Ah, yes. Lego's tradition of occasionally, on some of the bigger sets, hiding a red coffee mug. There's also a bit of windowing going on here. So let's get those on. And these are dark tinted windows. I like the look here. Okay, another one of these big support beams. So we've got a cool assortment of minifigures on today's build. And I still have 10 more Lego streams currently in the queue and a few things that I'm planning to buy before the month is over. Just I can't add to the queue right now because the budget is shot for right now. So here's a sticker that just says Terminal 1. Let's make sure that's straight. That is not straight. So this is a slop. But hey, you know what? There's a battle raging with superpowers. So if it's not perfectly straight, it's okay. You can just say that the sign was knocked askew, which is a thing that often happens. Little bits of surface damage that are mostly inconsequential. But no, I decided to try and make it straighter. It's still askew, and now it's not even all the way on the brick. Okay, however the sticker lands this time, I think we're just going to leave it. Not quite 100% perfect, but straighter than it was. Here's the Terminal 1 sticker. And that's going to go here. Right there. And I know you're seeing the back of what I'm doing, but I need to be able to see what I'm doing. So that's a thing that happens on these Lego streams. I'm still relatively, for now, keeping action on the camera as much as I am able. Posing the diorama at the end might be a little difficult, since then I'll have to have it facing away from me. Maybe I'll face it towards me for all the bits that I can attach, and then turn it towards the camera, and then just pose whatever characters and bits are not yet posed at that point. Nice little communications dish up here. Hmm. We have another assembly to build here. This one is going to be Hangar 5. Hangar 5 on Terminal 1. There's that sticker. Hmm. And then we get the third and final tower piece here. And this clips on to the top like this. And this faces towards the back like this. And can close up with this tile here. So you can do a breakaway wall for battle damage. Interesting. That's pretty cool. Alright, I like what they did there. Let's just secure that wall in. So now with the Hangar 5 facade, it makes sense that the jet would be coming out of that this little doorway here and then lifting up. So now that jet flying platform makes a little more sense. Why the jet is flying so low, because it just came out of the door. That's a cool antenna piece. And now we have some more, or I should say not some more, but another hinge. So we have another communications array going on up here on this tower. And a convenient fire extinguisher just placed in the middle of the open. And it looks like a couple of traffic cones. So it looks like now the wall's done and we're just filling in some detailing bits here. Some posing areas for action. It looks like was what's going on here. So now it has us making 3 of these barrels for Roxxon, I'm guessing motor oil. So light gray on the dark gray. So here's what the Roxxon barrel looks like. I need to make 3 of those. It looks like one of these is being posed on the flying peg here. Interesting. Don't know why we have a flying barrel of motor oil. Maybe it'll make more sense once we start putting the figures into play. Because there's 3 characters that are involved in the battle that aren't in the scene, I'm going to pose Winter Soldier on the outside of the jet rather than have him pilot the jet. That way all the figures can be seen in the build. So it has you place these barrels here on that little Technic bit from earlier. Oh, and I have to take that barrel back because I forgot to put the top on. Oh, I put those bricks out of order. This is the order they were supposed to be in. There we go. Oh, I see what this is for. So you put the barrels there. So let me turn this around because this is pretty cool. So we have those two barrels there. And the sign's not kidding when it says flammable. Because if you bump the little Technic bit on the side, the two barrels explode up. And that's probably what starts these little fires around the base here. It's pretty cool that they have that little play feature, considering that this is a diorama set first and foremost. It isn't so much meant for play, this one. So I just put the barrels back in place. And this shows how to create some more posing platforms. Using these big, tall, transparent pieces for minifigures to attach to. So it has one of these one of these flight pose sections going here. And then it has us doing one more of those. And that's going to go up here in front of the tower like this. Well, not the tower, but the wall. There we go. And here it shows to put the jet onto the little turntable here. So before I do that, let's get all the spare bits off. And I guess now I gotta start posing this thing. Oh, and I almost forgot. Here's the empty sticker sheet. We're done with stickers for tonight. And let's start putting this thing together. So it shows... Alright, it shows where the jet is going to align with the hinges here. But it's not clear from that angle. We gotta wait for the picture to load. So the jet is going to be we want the jet to be approaching liftoff. So we actually want it, because it's coming out of the hangar, so we want it to be like this. And I did not balance that correctly, obviously. It's okay that I bumped them, because the characters are about to be put onto the scene. So we're going to pose it right in front of the hangar. The plane, I mean. Like this. It's not letting me pose it directly in front of the hangar, though. It's pretty securely on there. unless it's meant to be positioned sideways instead of liftoff, in which case that might actually be a better look considering the tight spaces. And actually, I'm going to bring the characters over my side so I can start doing this arrangement. So if I take this plate and line it up like this. Oh, now that's a pretty secure placement. Okay, so that's what we're going with for the jet. Now this shows Falcon attacking Ant-Man. But Falcon and Ant-Man I thought were supposed to be the same side. Maybe Falcon is tag teaming with Ant-Man? Or, let's see what the picture on the box is doing. They don't have any of the posing platforms on the box. It's a marketing picture doing magic. Okay, we're just going to pose things as they are in this picture. So this flight panel can come out and go onto the back of Giant Man. So you only get 2 of the big long flight sticks. That's okay. And then we can have Falcon flying behind Giant Man, ready to tag team, because I think they're supposed to be the same side. And let's see here. Let me go ahead and get... Alright. So Falcon's in a flight pose now. Getting ready to fight. Is there a place to... Is there a hole for a stud? Maybe. If I manipulate the foot, is there a place I can push in a stud? Let's see, in theory, can that hole be used with a stud? Yes, that hole on the bottom of his foot is meant to be used with studs. So if I carefully line it up with the bottom of the foot against that stud, okay, using that stud as a guide, I should be able to line that up. I'll put the fire extinguisher over here out of the way, because we're not quite doing the exploding barrels yet. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the instruction scene while I come here and figure this out. We'll take that out because that won't be able to go there once Giant Man is attached in here. Okay, So no, I don't think I'll be able to use that stud I was trying to use because there's other studs surrounding it. But this stud is raised up a bit more. So if I attach him to this stud and have him coming in this way, yeah, that should work. I'll go ahead and take the separator off. So it shows Black Widow is trying to attack the Quinjet. So we'll pretend that one of the other characters in the Quinjet, you can't exactly see them through the canopy anyway. That way Winter Soldier can participate in the battle. Actually, if she's coming in for an attack, she wouldn't necessarily be. But the way this is positioned, you kind of have to have her standing like that. Yeah, that doesn't even work with the rules of gravity. No matter. So now we'll do Spider-Man coming in with a web swing against, yeah, that's not going to reach to Giant Man, so we'll put Spider-Man's, we'll have Spider-Man start his attack from the communication tower here. And he's swinging in towards Giant Man. If I can get his oh yeah, we use the grip, not the stud or pinhole. That's not a stud, it's a pinhole. I forgot you needed to use the grips for Spider-Man. So we have him coming in, and Giant Man is not amused, and we'll have Spider-Man's coming in for the attack, but Giant Man grabs him instead. So Giant Man currently has the advantage on Spider-Man, like this. 5 more characters to pose. How I want to do that. We'll have Scarlet Witch getting ready to tag team behind Captain as well in the flight pose. We'll have Captain America down here leading his team. And we'll have Iron Man. Yeah, we'll pose Iron Man on this bit of flight, front and center. And he's getting ready to attack Captain America. So that's 6 of the minifigures. I'll have Winter Soldier pose up here. Oh, I know. Let's have him posing like he's getting ready to jump into the battle. He can't fly, but we'll use this little bit of a flight pose to show him in kind of a... We'll use this little flight piece to show him mid-jump, jumping into the battle. Let me go pick it up because it fell across the room. I saw it fall and it looked like it went straight. So where is it? So close to finishing. And that piece had to fall and yeet. There it is. It was a clear piece. I didn't see it going that way because light was working against it. But coming back this way, there was a little shadow on it, and I was able to find it. So we're going to show Winter Soldier mid-jump is how we're going to pose him. And that piece yeeted again, but this time it went down directly in front of me. So we have Black Widow attacking the unseen character in the Quinjet, who's technically non-existent, but for purposes of the scene, we'll pretend that someone's there. I need to have better control over this piece if I'm going to be doing this Winter Soldier jump. There we go. So Black Widow is attacking the Quinjet. Scarlet Witch is flying into action with her magic blasts. Winter Soldier is jumping off the top of the airport to get into the action. Spider-Man is swinging from the airport to attack Giant Man, but Giant Man has caught him mid-swing. Falcon is flying behind Giant Man, ready to tag team. I have Captain America on the ground with Iron Man flying a little bit above him, trying to shoot him with a blast. And actually, let's turn him a little bit so that we can have Captain America hold up his shield to protect him from the energy blast. What am I going to do with Black Panther? Black Panther is technically the same side as Iron Man, so and Black Panther mainly just has melee attacks, just like Winter Soldier. So what I'll do is I'll have Black Panther, I'll pose him in the back here by the barrels, ready to use the barrels as a distraction when they explode to jump out and pounce on whoever might be in front of him. That's the best I could come up with him, given the layout, seriously. Sorry, I know it's not that creative. And in order to get this whole thing on camera, and I can't move it too much because you can see Giant Man is unstable with only one stud balancing him up. I'm going to pull the table back a bit so we can get more. How do we get more of him on camera? No, we got to be close if we want to see all of Giant Man. That's about as close as I can get. Alright. So yeah, let's see. Do we see everyone? We don't even see Falcon. And where'd Winter Soldier go? Winter Soldier just fell. Looks like he's not in the scene anymore. Where did he go? I don't see him here, which means he went on the floor. Unless he went. Did he fall onto the table? No, he did not. Oh, we lost a guy. I don't see him under anything else. Give me a moment to figure out where he might have gone. Let's see if I can shine the flashlight. Let's see. Did he go under the bed? We lost a whole character, which is not good. I'm trying to see if he fell into my computer area. It's rare to have a whole character disappear on stream. He didn't go into the gap between boxes down here. Well, he can't have gone far. Does not appear to have gone under the desk either. where could he have gone then? There's not a lot of room in here for physics to interact and cause a whole character to yeet. Did he dip from the battle because he wanted to fly the jet like he's supposed to? That's the only thing I can think of. Oh well. There's so much little details in this set. If one character is missing, I mean, they're already missing 3 characters. So, War Machine, Vision, and Hawkeye were also in this battle, and they're not even in the set. One more thing I can try. One more little place I can try. He's not down here either. Wouldn't it be funny if I tore the diorama apart and he's just hiding under something? Yeah, that's what happened. I can't believe it. I'm looking around for I waste 10 minutes looking around the room thinking he fell. And he landed on Giant Man's back behind the shoulder plate, wedged in there. Talk about crazy. Okay, so let's put him back onto the scene. Crisis averted. All the characters are accounted for. Wow. We just need to adjust Falcon. If I rotate Falcon's... Alright, Spider-Man's just gonna have to hang for a moment. Literally. If I rotate the flight stick for Falcon this way, I can then have him do a little bit like this. It's a little bit of an awkward pose, but we can make it work. And then I have to realign Giant Man's foot with the stud like this. I need to be able to see what I'm doing. And of course, the whole foot just fragmented on me. Hold on. We'll get this. We'll get him posed up pretty soon. Let me fix him real quick. Now that everybody's on the diorama, I need to lift it to see what I'm doing. Hopefully I won't disturb too much. facing slightly that way. Facing. Okay, that's where I'm falling apart. I want to be on this stud, not that one. I had him pretty securely on the stud before. I don't know why he's refusing to go now. There we go. So we got to bring Spider-Man back into his position. And of course, Giant Man came off the stud again. There we go. That feels pretty secure, more secure than it was. We'll move him in so we can get Spider-Man posed in there. There we go. And Captain America, of course, needs to be back in the battle, facing off with Iron Man. It's just after midnight our time, and it's just under 4 hours total stream time. We should have been done like 10 minutes ago, but we wasted time searching for a figure that turned out to not actually be lost. So let's try this again. Exit view. You can actually see Falcon this time. Spider-Man, so that's 3 characters. Let's turn it a little bit this way though, so that you can see. Yeah, this way you can see Captain and Iron Man battling. Black Panther's hiding in the background. Black Widow, Scarlet Witch up there. No, that's Winter Soldier. And Black Widow over here on the jet. Can I pose the jet a little bit better? Yeah, now you can see the jet a little bit better. Let's have Giant Man leaning forward so you can see at least a little bit of his face. Not the best framing for an exit view I've ever done, I will be honest, but the set is awkwardly shaped and sized, so yeah, it looks pretty cool. One of the iconic Avengers scenes when they all decided to fight against each other. But hey, at least they all became friends again in the end, right? Now, let me go set up an exit raid. I just pulled my keyboard all the way out of its space. Alright. So that I can type in our exit raid. Let me see. Let me see what I can find out here about raiding. Wow, this giant man is actually giant. He towers over the airport. All right. There's a lot of people on tonight, but the one who matters is on. So we're rating Brett like we usually do on Saturdays. All right. Have a good night, and I will see you soon. And let's go enjoy Brett's stream for a little bit. This was fun. The Avengers are always a fun time. I'll probably be back tomorrow with more Lego. We'll see how I feel. Have a good night.
Yeah, and that's by design. It's not a glitch. What's up, Evie? Hey, thanks for the raid. Appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, welcome in. We're doing some Red Dead. Yeah, we're graduating from Evie's Lego stream. I think it was a Lego stream. He said he was going to do Legos.